Suros regime. This gun is an oldie. It's a goodie. It's a lot like me. It's very washed up. Recently, it got a buff in Renegades, a buff that I guarantee you didn't know about because everybody's had the Proxic Blade glued to them since the start. Now, what you can do is swap between spinning up and dual speed receivers simply by holding your reload button. Now, this might seem like a buff, and it kind of is, but it's also a nerf simultaneously, and I'll explain why. The first major thing, which really isn't a nerf, but just the bad feedback loop regarding swapping modes. You can see on the screen that the reticle is changing, but for most players, they might not notice that at a glance, and I guarantee if you swap enough, you'll eventually forget which one you're at. Really, it's just, if you're playing PvP, this is incredibly clunky to have to deal with, and the next thing regarding the feedback loop is that there isn't a clear telling on the gun, as well as a noise to indicate you swap modes. Listen to Hard Light. You hear that noise, right? That's a clear feedback loop indicating you swap modes with the gun. Another thing that I hate is that Suros regime doesn't remember which mode you have equipped if you die, which is incredibly annoying in PvP, and I'll explain in a minute. Regarding the remembering, Hard Light remembers it's on Solar. Starting out is normally on Void when you equip it. I go ahead and die, and I go ahead and respawn, it will remember that it's on Solar. It remembers which element it was. Now if you go back to Suros regime, this gun won't remember what setting it's on after you die. Now currently, we have it equipped to spinning up. So, spinning up, and I swap it to dual speed receivers, and I die. It will default back to spinning up, even though I died leaving it off on dual speed receivers. Spinning up. That's incredibly clunky and annoying in PvP, especially if you use this in any sort of respawn mode. You get killed and your teammate revives you, and the difference maker is that your gun swapped to the wrong mode for you. That's incredibly clunky. It should remember what mode you were on last death. It should remember. It shouldn't automatically revert back to the thing you don't want it to be. And I think the easiest change is to just remove the ability to have the swapping mechanic, because why is this necessary now if we have the ability to swap between them regardless of where we're at? You know, like, why have it in two different places where I can swap it if I can do it all the time? It's kind of like back in the day when with Hard Light you actually had like swap the perks in the menu to make it whichever element you wanted. Now it's just one perk, it's one thing. Instead of it being two perks, how it is on Suros regime, two perks, it's just one perk, the fundamentals. And it remembers, again, which one you're at when you die. I feel like this is just a bit of a nerf to a gun that was already pretty weak in PvP, and for something like this to somehow make it through, it feels like they didn't learn their lesson. It's like, didn't we have the same issue with Hard Light in the past, where like you just didn't remember the element you were on when you died? They didn't learn their lesson regarding that, and they just took that same thing and applied it to Suros regime. Like, again, you can just swap it in your menu, clearly, yeah, that's not hard to do, but it's incredibly frustrating that if I'm in a PvP situation, dual speed receivers, now I'm spinning up. I'm close range. Yeah, I'm fighting somebody. I die and respawn. All of a sudden, my gun is shooting incredibly slow. Against my consent. I don't know. Maybe I'm complaining. Maybe I'm nitpicking. I tend to do that about this game. But this just seems like a very, very huge oversight. Because they've learned their lesson before with all the other fundamental guns. And again, feedback loop. Why is there not a noise indicating I've swapped the gun mode? Every other gun that does that gives you a clear feedback loop. Like, you can hear it. You see it on the gun too, because the element changes. Incoming public event. Nothing. Anyways, I guess this is kind of just a nitpick video about a gun that is already pretty mid. Like I said earlier in the video, it's washed. It's just like me. Giant panda!